You know what time of week it is. It is time for our key matchups for the final time in the regular season. I'm Sierra Goodwill here with Evan Lazar and Alex Barth. A riveting matchup between the New England Patriots and Miami Dolphins coming up this Sunday.
Stoked. Barnburner.
But of course, we have to talk about the familiarity factor again with Bill Belichick and Brian Flores. This is a matchup that is probably one of the most intriguing of the game.
Yeah, I think it's exciting on almost because Brian Flores does know the Patriots so well. I think that Bill Belichick's going to say to him, hey, go play tight man-to-man coverage against our receivers for all four quarters, and let's see if our guys can actually move the ball against a team that does that. This is a game, to me, that is a really good practice for the Patriots against that type of defense because the Miami Dolphins in recent weeks have been a little bit more man-heavy. They will play cover one and play bump and run against these receivers, and they do have some schematic things that they'll throw at the Patriots. They doubled Tyler Boyd a lot in that Cincinnati game. I assume they're going to do the same thing with Julian Edelman. So this is a nice litmus test against an inferior opponent on every single way of just how teams are going to schematically, defensively try to guard this Patriots offense going into the playoffs. And now the Patriots have a little bit of a tune-up against it with Brian Flores.
And, I mean, it's obviously a litmus test, and you said a weaker opponent, but Dolphins are 4-4 in their last 8.
Yeah,
and
scoring 28 points a game in the last month.
I think a lot of it has to do with Brian Flores.
Absolutely.
They're using essentially a Wikipedia lineup, right? You have to constantly be on Wikipedia to figure out who a lot of these guys on the field are for Miami. Most of their good players are on injured reserve at this point. So you got to look at the coaching and the job the coaching staff has done. Of course, it starts with Flores. You mentioned the familiarity. That's a huge part of it.
Yeah.
If the Dolphins make this a game late, and obviously the Patriots would love to run away with this at the half and get the backups and get Julian Edelman off the field, get Tom Brady off the field, get Patrick Chung off the field. If the Dolphins keep this a game, you're looking at Brian Flores as the reason why. So Bill's got to do some new things here this week because Flores is going to know what's coming.
And Brian Flores, sorry, Sarah.
No worries.
Brian Flores is going to throw a bunch of trick plays at the Patriots, too.
Oh, yeah.
They've been throwing trick plays at the entire league. They threw a touchdown to Christian Wilkins, their first-round D-tackle last week. They had that weird kicker thing that they did a few weeks ago. That was just bizarre against Philadelphia. They've done all sorts of weird things. They hit a big play to Devante Parker last week off of a flea flicker. So all those types of little trick plays, they're playing with house money right now.
Look,
so they're going to pull it all
If it
out.
doesn't affect the outcome of the game, I would love to see Ryan Fitzpatrick catch a pass.
Well, there are a handful of players on the Dolphins that you don't have to look up on Wikipedia. We're going to talk about 2 of them. Of course, we always do Stephon Gilmore against whoever. And this week it's Devante Parker.
Yeah, it is. Parker's actually been one of the better receivers in the AFC East this year.
Yeah.
He's kind of come out of nowhere.
One of the best receivers in the conference.
He's one of these guys who, and you can see him all over the league now, was coached by Adam Gase. His career kind of looked like it was crumbling. Leaves Gase and suddenly he's a fix. He went from being a healthy scratch last year at times to he just got a fat extension from the Dolphins, and he's going to be a problem here for the Patriots for the next couple of years. But Stephon Gilmore is Stephon Gilmore. He's the best defensive player in football. He's the best man-to-man corner in football. So kind of like you mentioned, a tune-up. You know, you got Tyreek Hill coming up. You got possibly DeAndre Hopkins coming up in the playoffs, those sort of guys. A nice little warm-up here for Stephon Gilmore as they get going into the playoffs.
Really physical, big downfield receiver. Devante Parker can really box guys out, use his body, great body control down the field, go up and get acrobatic passes, stuff like that. And he's had a really nice year for them. He's got that big contract extension. How about Chad O'Shea, former Patriots wide receivers coach, now their offensive coordinator, does a really good job with receivers. Seems like Parker's first-round talent is starting to show a little bit in Miami.
And your weekly Patriots offensive line talk with Evan Lazar. This week,
it's a weekly segment.
It is a weekly segment. Let's talk specifically, though, about the interior line against Christian Wilkins.
Yeah, you know, there are not a ton of deep players on this Dolphins defense that really are household names anymore. Xavier Howard, their top corner, is now on injured reserve. Christian Wilkins, I loved him in the draft, first-round pick out of Clemson. I said he caught a touchdown pass earlier, but he could do some stuff plugging up the middle of the defense. I would expect that the Patriots would love to just pound the rock the entire game and just really kind of go with more of a conservative offense. They run the ball 40 times, 45 times in this game, something like that. But in order to do that, they're going to have to be successful rushing the football. So let's see what the Dolphins come out in. They can come out in a couple of different fronts, but Brian Flores, being from the Patriots kind of coaching tree here with Bill Belichick, is predominantly a 3-4 guy, but sometimes he does run a 4-man front and he puts Wilkins in more of like a 3-technique attacking type of position. So we'll see what they come out in, but I really do think that the running the football is going to be the emphasis this week. Keep Tom Brady clean, keep him safe, keep Julian Edelman safe. It's always easier to run the football if you can do that successfully. successfully. So I think that's where the Patriots turn.
Maybe Landon Roberts against Christian
Yeah.
Wilkins, to go back to something we talked
Yeah.
about in another video.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
can check out clnsmedia.com. Yeah, they got to be physical with him up front.
Yeah.
And like you mentioned, I think the key to that is there's so many guys on the defensive front that you can take care of one-on-one.
Yep.
Double, even triple team
Yeah.
Christian Wilkins. Even if he's not quite that player yet,
Yeah.
you can treat him that way because of everybody else.
You
on
look
that
up and down
defensive
this
front.
defensive line for Miami, and it's Wikipedia. Like
Yeah,
you said.
Wikipedia lineup.
It's like, who are
Yeah.
these guys? They have some linebackers that are worth mentioning, so, and obviously Christian Wilkins, and that's about it.
Yep.
This Patriots Press Pass is brought to you by betonline.ag. Head to their website, enter promo code CLNS50 to receive your welcome bonus. For all the rest of our Patriots coverage, head to our website at clnsmedia.com.